All right. Thank you, Felicia. I'm Danny. Hi, everybody. I saw a few little bubbles of we've got people all over the country, so welcome. I am an artist. I also do a lot of other crafts as well. Acrylics are my favorite medium, but I do mixed media. I do crafting, paper crafting, obviously, yarn, kind of whatever I find at Michael's that I love, which is everything. So I kind of do it all. And I also very much believe that anybody can do anything if you're willing to learn, because I didn't do any art for most of my life. And then about 8 years ago, I started learning. So I like to incorporate art in everything I do, which is why I went with the hand painted ornament. If you're intimidated by painting, don't worry, I'm going to break it down. And then we are also going to make the trifold card. Just to go over some supplies, specifically things that were not mentioned, scissors, a hole punch if you have it. If you don't, we can find a backup method. And then you might need a paper cutter. If you don't have a paper cutter, scissors will work. So at the very least, just need some scissors. We did forget to put that on the list. I'm very sorry about that. So give you a second to grab those. Other supplies we are using, we're using some paints. I have the Artist Loft brand of crimson red, black, and yellow ochre. I'm using white craft paint because I ran out of my Artist Loft paint. If you want to use craft paint for all of it, you totally can. You can use the Artist Loft white. That's what I prefer as well. I have double-sided tape, a white colored pencil, some napkins, and to my side, I have a cup of water for the paints. I am going to use this scrap piece of paper as my palette, so it doesn't have to be cardboard. It can be, if you have a little plastic or paper plate, or even just a scrap piece of paper will work. You can put a napkin underneath it if it's like thin, you don't want to get your table messy. But this is pretty thick, so I'm just going to use that as my palette. I have a paintbrush. I like round brushes, which is you can get a very small tip, or you can push down with a lot of pressure and get a bigger stroke. You can use a flat brush. You can use really any kind of brush. This is, I believe, a size 12 round. I also have some twine. It can be any kind that you like. This one, it might be hard to see, but it's like one of our holiday ones. It's got the standard twine color mixed in with white, so it adds a little razzle dazzle. We have some glittery ones for the holidays. Those are really fun as well. And then napkins. I'm a very messy painter, so it's good to have them on hand always. And then to my side, I have the paper cutter as well. So let's dive into the paper portion. I will show you what I have here. So I'm going to set aside everything except I'm going to show you which papers I have. This is the red accent that I'm using. It is like one of those shiny foil ones. Very cool. You can use any color you want. I like the black and red combo. I have a black sheet. I'll show you how I cut that down. I used a 12 by 12 and cut it in half. And then a scrap piece of white cardstock. So to get this size black, that's going to be your base of your card. I will demonstrate with this other sheet here. So this is a 12 by 12 with a little bit of extra because that's where it's perforated. But I'm just going to cut it in half. So I'm going to get a 6-inch cut here. So I'm going to show you with the paper cutter, and then I'll show you if you have scissors. So,
hey, Danny,
yes.
Your overhead just timed out on you.
Oh no! Why does it? Sorry.
And also, while I have you, Sarah said she didn't have any cardstock. So I was just typing in chat, but since I have this opportunity, just know this class is recorded, so you can always go back and make the card with the recording.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes it's actually better to watch first and then pardon me while I move you around here. My phone's too smart. It like won't let me disable the screen timer, so I'll just have to remember to tap it every now and then. If you don't have the supplies now, you can definitely rewatch it later. I personally like to watch classes before I do them because I'll get distracted and like do it wrong, and, like not know the whole process ahead of time. So just to recap here, it was a 6-inch cut. So it's now 6 by 12. That's what you're gonna do with your base paper. This is my base is gonna be black. You can use white, you can use hot pink, whatever you have available. If you don't have a paper cutter, you can do the good old, fold and cut method. So you can fold it in half and then just cut that line. All right, so everybody go ahead. If you are following along and want to make it along with me, go ahead and cut that piece of paper. And then we are going to trifold it. You could measure this out, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not that type of person. I like to just kind of go for it. So the way I usually do a trifold, I kind of do this like burrito method, and then I keep pushing it down until you get a pretty even fold here. And it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So then I'm going to crease it. So what I did is just made this trifold. I'm going to open it back up, close it, really crease those. If you have a bone folder, those are really nice to get a crease. You can also use another item, but honestly, I feel like, your hands work fine. And then the top flap here. So we're done. No, I'm just kidding. So we've got the base of the card going here. Now we are going to add a pocket. I'm going to use this fun sparkly red. So this is a 12-inch, cut. So this is roughly about 4 inches. I'm gonna make a square, probably about 3 inches. I'm gonna use my paper cutter. You can use your scissors if you don't have one. So the easiest way I think is to make a square first. So let's do 3 inches. And you just want to like hold it up. We're going to put the pocket on the right over here to make sure you don't want it to be bigger than this. I'm trying to show you that fold line here. It's right here. It's hard to see. You don't want it to be extending into the middle section. So that's a pretty good size. I probably could make it a little bigger if I wanted, but I like that. It's cute. So I'm going to take that 3-inch square. And now I want a triangle shape. So I'm going to cut on the diagonal here. So I just rotate it, line it up, or this might be easier to do by hand with the scissors. And then cut. I think that is all we need with the paper cutter. To make the pocket, we are going to just tape this on. I have double-sided tape. You can use glue if you would like. You could use those like scrapbook glue dots. What you want to make sure is that this part here is not taped. So we're adding tape to the edges only. Or glue, whatever you're using. And you don't have to tape the whole edge, and just kind of want to secure it. All right, now we want to line it up here at the corner and press firmly along those edges. So you should still be able to lift this. If you can't, that means you've taped the wrong side. But luckily you have another half to work with. That being said, if you want to add another pocket on the other side, you totally can. I actually think I might do that. Let's go ahead and do that. The pockets are really fun for any info you want to put in. Like if you have pictures that you want to mail to people, you can slip them in the pockets. On the example on the class listing, I did a QR code and it would link to my gallery of, holiday images. So people who wanted to see those could. You could do a QR code to a party that you're hosting, or you could even just make an invitation to a party and put it in there. There's a lot of options. I used this method for my wedding invites, and it was really nice to do like the itinerary, the RSVP, everything. You can just kind of tuck things in. Also, if you wanted to give more gifts, you could do like stickers or I don't know, something that you made that could fit in here. So I've got 2 pockets on this one. You can do 1 or 2, however many you want. And whenever you get your item that you want to put in there, like your QR code or your photos, you just tuck it in there. You have to make sure that it's like small enough to fit on that side there, but it just kind of holds it in. Is everybody with me so far on that? Any questions on the pockets or the folding? No. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead just to finish off this card base for the structural part. I'm gonna use my hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can skip this step. We can just tape the ornament in later. But the ornament's gonna be hanging in the middle here as the focal point. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch 2 holes. Let me just make sure that my phone is happy. All right, now I'm just gonna eyeball it here. So you don't want it right on the edge because you don't want it to, rip. But I just did 2 holes, and that is where we're going to secure the ornament with twine. So now we have a card base. You can, fold it up, make sure you like it, make any adjustments that you want. And we will decorate that after we paint the ornament. Awesome. So now I'm going to pull out some white cardstock. There are several different mediums you could use for this, but I liked just using the cardstock with acrylic paint. You could use colored pencil if you have that. You could use your kids' crayons if you have that. You could have your kids make an ornament if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be a specific size right now. We are just using like a scrap piece. It will have to fit in the card though, so we'll have to cut it down. So I'm actually going to do that now. I'm going to cut this piece down so that I can kind of know how big I can make it. So I'm just going to hold it here and kind of do some guideline cuts. And this is going to be like my canvas size, right? Here. So this is a good way to use scraps. I know if you're like me, you have tons of paper scraps. My cat loves them. So they kind of end up in random places around the house. And this doesn't have to be perfectly even because we're going to actually cut out the shape later. I just want to make sure it fits in the card. So if it's smaller than the middle section, you're good.
And I just want you to know that there are some people that love your color combination.
Oh, thank you. I tend to like non-traditional, but not too off the wall. So I really like the dark base because then you can add gold, you can add red, blue, anything. So thank you. Glad you like it. Makes me happy. All right, so we're gonna get ready to paint. You will need some water in a cup that you can see my cup. It will get dirty. If it's a plastic cup, that's great. If it's something you basically don't drink out of it after this, you don't want to do that. No, it's gonna be a bad time. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my brush in the water with acrylic paint. Anytime you're not using your brush, you want it to be in the water. if the paint dries on the brush, it will ruin it. Ask me how I know. I have a graveyard of brushes. It's very sad. This one has been well loved, as you can see. I also like to get it wet before I even start painting, just to kind of, wake it up. It's like coffee in the morning, you gotta like loosen up the bristles. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get out some paint on my palette here. So this can be a scrap piece of paper, a paper plate. Just gonna go ahead and squeeze out a few colors here. This is crimson red. We are gonna do the cardinal, so any kind of red will work. But I like crimson because it's more like on the maroon side, like a darker red. This is yellow ochre. It is going to just be there for mixing. This is black. I'm gonna set these over here. Just give myself some room. And then white, I'm gonna use craft paint because I ran out of my other paint. Sorry for the rude noise. All right, and let me just really fast. Go. Okay. So we've got our water. Oh, napkins. Napkins are good. Napkins are essential. Okay, so you can sketch this out if you would like. I don't sketch. I'm gonna break it down for you, but don't feel like you can't use a pencil first and sketch it out. You could even trace it. If you want to print out a picture of a cardinal or whatever object you're painting, you can, use tracing paper to get that on there. You can use your Cricut to make a template. You can do any of those things really, but today we're just going to talk about how to kind of eyeball it and use like the position of each object to paint. So you've got this. We're going to pull paint out to the side. Anytime I'm getting paint, I'm pulling out to the side because if I go straight in on the pile, it gets muddy faster, and you may have to end up like wasting paint that way, and that's very sad. So what I'm going to do first is kind of do just a straight line to mark the height and shape of my bird. So I kind of want him just perched upright. So I'm going to make just a straight line here. We've got a branch going across. Skip a little bit and then mark where the tail is. Okay, it's a bird, yay. No, I'm just kidding. So now I'm going to use that guide and start rounding out his body. So he's got a pretty round body. This is kind of like a C shape. And it gets bigger here where he's sitting. I don't have a name for the bird yet, so if you have a good name for him, let me know. Also, if it's easier for you to tape this paper down so it doesn't move, you totally can. I'm just holding it, but whatever you are more comfortable with. So we've got the line, and then we've got the C shape. I'm gonna go ahead and fill it in. It's almost like half of a pear right now. On the other side, we have a little bit of a different shape. So it's going to be about an inch to the right here. I'm going to make kind of a straight line. And then it goes out and around. So you still got a C, but you have that little straight part first for his neck. And then I will fill in all of that. Acrylic paint dries very quickly. If you're not getting very smooth coverage, you can dip your brush in the water. Definitely wipe it on the sides, but not completely dry so that it's not dripping, but there's still water in the brush. And then you can mix that in with your paint just to get it a little smoother. You can also do layers. So the spots where you can see the paper through, those will get covered when we layer. All right, so I think I'm gonna give him a little more roundness. I think chunky birds are adorable. So I'm gonna move on to the tail and just start filling that out. It's really kind of just straight, and then it has kind of a jagged, feathery end. So if you connect the tail to the body, don't worry, the branch, we will still put that in. It's not a big deal at all. So so the round brush is great for like feathering because you can kind of get these wispy details here. Right. And let's go up to the head here. So really his head and his body are like kind of joined, so it's not a whole lot different. We're gonna extend this angle up here, and then we're gonna add some feathering here. You can add as many feathers as you want. We're just giving them kind of it's kind of like a mohawk, but like on the back. And then we do a straight line diagonally to that right. And I'm going to leave room for the beak here. So this is going to be where the beak comes into his face. And make a little triangle. Just for now, we'll add detail later. And then you can start filling in kind of up to that line. You can go all the way if you want, but it is going to get covered with black. So I'm going to leave that. So you've got a weird, cute blob with a beak hole. So, it's a process. Trust the process. All right, go ahead and make any adjustments to the base shape that you want. And I'm going to start adding in some other colors. So rinse your brush. I like to drag my brush along the bottom of the jar, just to get water in the bristles and really separate that paint. I am wiping it on the sides, but then I'm going to go ahead and blot it as well. If your paint's really dry already, you don't have to do the blotting part. You can kind of mix it in. So let's grab some black paint. I'm just using a tiny bit to start. And we're just gonna go right in and start filling in. I'm just kind of dotting to get a really feathery organic texture. And we're going to fill in that white space there. And here we have a little bit of kind of a pocket, like another C shape where his eye goes. So I'm just rounding that out a bit. But otherwise, there's not really a wrong way to do this part. Like it's very different bird to bird, like what it will look like. All right, and then we will rinse our brush really well. Anytime you use black, actually, I'm gonna let that dry for a bit because black will kind of mix in with the other colors. So rinse your brush. Let's put in the branch. So for the branch, I'm gonna start with this yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is a darker yellow, very good for like mixing browns. I'm gonna use just the yellow ochre. My paint is dry, it dries pretty quickly on paper. And I'm just gonna draw some lines to guide where I want that branch. The good thing about branches is they are not straight and they're just very organic looking. So the more you mess up, the better it might look. Where he is sitting, you do want to have the branch meet, but we can kind of come back in and add a little over fluff to make it blend a little better. So I'm just using yellow ochre right now. If you want this to be thin, you can make it thinner, you can make it thicker, you can make it like twisty if you want it. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix some colors. I'm gonna make some yellow here. Just a touch of that red. Because this is yellow ochre, it's not going to make like a super orangey orange. It's going to be more of like an earthy color. I'm looking for kind of, it's a little darker than a mustard, so I'll show you. What I'm going to do with this darker color is put in some texture. So first I'm just going to make small little marks, light pressure. If you use light pressure on this brush, you're just getting the tip of the brush on there, and it starts adding in some contrast. So this is kind of a mid-tone color that we're using right now. Okay. It might be kind of hard to see from up there. Okay, I'm gonna grab some white and mix it to that orangey color. This is gonna be our highlight color. And there's not, I need a little bit more. There's not really a rhyme or reason, like it's a very organic shape, so just kind of trying to put some points of interest in there and make it more textured. If you have brown paint and you want to use that, you totally can. I like to mix paints, but it's not for everybody. Right, so that just added some dimension to it. Let's add his feet. Let's not, I don't know what they are. They're feet. Bird feet. I think I'm gonna do white with like a tiny dot of yellow, like mostly white, like very pastel, because you want it to pop against that branch. All right, so I'm just gonna do 3 lines here. You know, everyone kind of knows what the chicken foot looks like. You know, you've got the 1 line and then the 2. It's kind of what we're doing here. So when you draw the lines, start curving them a little bit around the branch. And by draw, I meant paint. Okay. Let's let that dry. We are gonna move on to the beak, but we'll come back and add more there. All right, so the beak, we're kind of wanting the orangey color. It's a little orangier than the brownish orange that we're doing down here. So I'm gonna add some red, scoop out some yellow, mix that up. Gonna do a little bit more red. It's always a gamble, you know, you add red, you want more yellow, then you want more red. Just kind of whatever color you like here. I think this is good.
Hey, Danny, when you get through, can you kind of raise your sample card up so they can see the colors?
This card, the palette.
Somehow or another, my mute just keep muting itself, but yes.
Okay. All right. So so this is a cardboard color. It might be a little hard to see, but it's kind of a corally orange when you mix the red and the yellow. I'm gonna try this color. If it's not different enough from the red, then we'll have to change it, put more yellow in. But I did about half and half, I would say. Just kind of play with that. For the beak, we left this divot here, so we're gonna start there. Look at your color. I like that color a lot, actually. It is different enough to me, so Good job, us. So I'm just gonna do straight line. And then I'm gonna kind of fill in the rest of it. So it's a triangular shape. And my paint needs a little love here. This brush is a little large for this project, so I'm using very light pressure. If you have a smaller brush, it might be a lot easier. All right, so that's the base of the bird, and we're just gonna add some fun details. You don't have to get super detailed, especially if you're gonna make a lot of these, but I figured this card was, it's a really special one for somebody that you really want to take the time to express your, like, how much you care. Obviously, if you did 100 of these, that would take forever. But you do you. So let's go to the bird body. What we want to do is add some shadow and some highlight. I like to say the way to make any painting look better is to get 3 tones going. You have your medium, your mid-tone, your dark, and then your light, your highlight. So this color here is going to be our mid-tone. So to make our darker color, I'm going to grab some red. Okay, I like to say black paint is like your mother-in-law that just moves in. Like, it just takes over so fast. So I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of black and start there and mix it with the red. And you see how dark that got, even though it was such a small amount. I'm going to add some more red. We're looking for kind of a maroonish color, like a very dark crimson. And when you're sitting on something, the sun, it is hitting the top point here. I'm just going to show you on the bird. It's much easier. Okay, so the sun is coming from the right and it's highlighting his face and his body. And we're going to add some roundness by putting the shadow on the bottom where it's kind of right above the branch. So I'm going to start following the shape here that I made and just start adding that darker color. You can already see what a huge difference it makes. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then over the feet here. And then as my paint runs out, I'm kind of blending it back in with that mid-tone color. And if you want like a kind of a textured look, you can kind of use your different brush strokes to get that. I'm kind of doing that like feathering technique where you just kind of stamp it, and then you could also kind of just do like long strokes. We want to blend this in with our mid-tone a bit, so I'm going to grab just the crimson red. And right over that line, kind of like you're mowing a lawn, you want to go over where it meets. This is called wet on wet painting. It's a really good way to blend. I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush a little bit and get more of the pure red color. So this is why I don't worry too much about that first layer, because you're adding some detail on top of it. And this is a great way to get the coverage that you want. Especially with craft paint, a little thinner. So layering is a good technique.
Hey, Danny, if you get
Yeah.
one more chance, you can raise the picture up this time, just so they can see the difference.
Is that good?
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can see all that shadow really added a lot of dimension, and made him more real looking. So, oops. Just to recap, we just mixed a tiny bit of black with that red. And we started on the outside, which is the darkest part. And then we moved in where it meets the mid-tone. That is just straight red. So we blended that in. Okay, I know there's a little bit of a glare happening.
But just so you know, you are getting a lot of seeing the nice blending and the difference that it's making. So I know you're not looking at the chat, but I just want you to know that there is a
Oh.
lot of compliments coming in.
Guys, stop. Go on. Stop. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is honestly like the key to me for me to make art look more realistic is, like I said, those 3 colors. So if you've got 3 colors to work with in the same family, then you can really add a lot of dimension. So I'm gonna add some more shadow to his head. This is dried up already, so I'm gonna grab some red and a tiny bit of black. And doesn't matter how little black I get, I always get way too much. So let's add some more red to that. Wow. All right. There we go. If you get, so can you see where it's like gooped up on my brush? You definitely don't want that because that paint will come out and it's usually in a spot you don't want it to. So just trying to make sure you get like a smooth, not like a dollop of paint. So his head, I'm just adding a little bit of a shadow right here. So we have those feathers extending out. It's not quite at the edges. It's a little bit inside. I actually want that to be a little darker. So just a touch more black. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to add just a little bit to connect the, that's kind of like the less than sign. I'm gonna connect the edge of that triangle with this shadow that I added here. And then I'm gonna connect all of that back around to the side.
Susie says this little bird is the cat's meow.
Oh man, I love a good pun. So this looks a little harsh. I'm gonna add just red. I'm trying to hold it to get rid of the glare. I'm adding a little bit of just red to blend that in. I'm kind of pulling that dark color out, so it's a lot smoother. And then here, you can rotate if that's easier. And I'm gonna kind of pull that dark color out into those feathers. This is just red, just to help it be a little smoother. Right, rotate that back. So you can see now, maybe, yeah. Well, it'll dry and you'll definitely see it, but it's a little less harsh. Like sometimes when you add the contrast in there, it's like too much, too fast. So I'm gonna blend this side in just a little bit. And then I'm gonna stop because you could keep blending for hours. Also, one important thing I didn't mention is to make sure you're breathing. I know it sounds silly, but we tend to hold our breath when we're concentrating on something. Especially if you're trying to get like a straight line. It's actually, I've found easier to get that if you breathe out when you move your brush. So here we don't have a lot of straight lines to worry about, but definitely use it as a meditative experience and definitely get some breathing in there. Let's add some highlights. So we got the white and yep, red. White is very good at coverage. So if you're ever getting something that just looks too thin, you can add some white to it and it will help thicken it up. But in this case, we're going to use it as a highlight. So I'm going to put a highlight right on the, I guess like the chest area. I don't know bird anatomy, y'all. I'm sorry. Just trying to get some of that in there. And that is really bright. So I'm going to wipe some of that off on my napkin. I'm not rinsing. I'm just going to grab some straight red and pull that in. kind of go over that. I actually think I want to kind of mix those two colors. So my first color was a little too light. I'm just going to add some more red back into it. There we go. And I am going all the way up to this black less than symbol sign. I'm gonna call it the beak cozy. It's kind of holding the beak. All right, and then the same thing we did with the shadows, we're gonna get just red and start blending those two together so it's more of a gradient. And if you haven't yet, take us like hold it out and look further away. It's gonna look totally different to you. Art isn't meant to be looked at as closely as we do when we paint it. You can also take a picture with your phone. You might surprise yourself. It's magic. It looks different. I'm gonna grab a little more of that highlight color and just put a tiny bit on the top of the beak here. All right. So now we have the tail. Let's go back to our contrast color. So that again was red, tiny bit of black. And the darkest part of the tail is going to be right underneath the branch because the branch is going to cast the shadow. So let's start there. And we kind of want to make it look feathery. So I'm going to kind of do some lines down from that spot. As the paint runs out, it kind of blends with that red, which is what we're going for.
Danny, there's a quick question asking, do they need to keep all of the paints wet while blending, like the shadows or the highlights and all?
Do you need to keep them all wet? What's the question?
Wet.
Yes, I would. I'm trying to go in an order that lets you blend them together wet on wet because it's just so much easier. You really can't blend acrylics if it's not wet. If it's dry, then you're just layering at that point. So what you could do is, like, honestly, by the time we started doing the darker shade, the bird had already dried. So I added that darker shade, but then I went in and added more of that original red color to blend it. So you can always add paint back in to work with, but you really can't blend it if it's dry. All right, so let's do a highlight, white and red. And the same thing, but we don't want any highlight necessarily underneath the branch where it's shadowed. So I'm going to start at the edges here and just add a few little details. There may not be light shining directly on this part of the bird, but it's going to help add like dimension. If you make a mistake like I did, use the Bob Ross method and call it a happy accident. If it looks really choppy, you can add some just pure red back in there. All right, and that is really it on the bird, the red part anyway. Let's go to the feet. So we have, actually, the way that we're going to define the feet is really defining the branch. So let's do the yellow, a little bit of red, and a tiny bit of black. And it's going to make this like kind of muddy color that's pretty dark. And then we're going to go around the feet with that color. And it's going to make them pop, and it's like magic. I'm adding a shadow of like the body on the branch. Let me show you that closer. Pretty small. And then I'm gonna do in the middle here, definitely have a big shadow around that talon. I kind of went over that white of the foot, and that's okay, we'll add it back in. Adding a little bit of this dark color back into the branch, just to kind of give it some contrast. All right. On the talons itself, I keep calling them talons. I don't know. I guess they seem a little more majestic to me than they are. I'm gonna add just the yellow, make sure there's not any water in my brush. And go over them where they meet the branch. And then this part is a little hard to explain. Like, you're really just trying to eyeball it until you think it looks good. I'm adding a little bit of white back in, just trying to blend it out. Right, dark color back in there. Definitely recommend a smaller brush than what I'm using. If you don't have one, that's, I mean, I'm getting through it. It's just it's a little difficult with a larger brush. So I'm going to add a pure white highlight to finish the off those talons. It just kind of helps them pop. So I'm gonna do it in a curved shape. I could probably do more with those, but I know we are approaching the end of the class, so I just want to make sure we get through the next steps. That being said, I'm going to not put as much shading in the beak. I'm just going to add the central line here. And then rinse my brush. That was with black. Make some of that orangey beak color again. And you can kind of go over the black to smear it a little, and it's just gonna have more of like a shadow rather than like a harsh black line. For the eyeball, I'm gonna actually keep this like orangey color I just made. That was the red and the yellow, and add a tiny bit of black to it. I had too much water in my brush, but so let's do darker. So black, red, yellow. It's like honestly not that much lighter than our black color. But it's going to be like the circle of the eye. So I'm making a circle, which you probably cannot see super well or at all. But just know that there's a circle there, and we're going to add white. I didn't wash my brush. I'm going to go in like a backward C shape to get the reflection of the eye. This is pure white.
And Danny, just know we have about 9 minutes remaining.
All right. I am going to stop with the bird. There is always more that you can paint, but he's pretty cute. So let me wrap up this eye. Okay. If you didn't think that you could paint a cardinal, you were wrong, because you just did. And sorry, The hardest part is stopping because I'll keep going. All right, so we're gonna cut this guy out. So your paper might have curled a little. It's okay. I personally don't mind that. Once you cut it out and it's completely dry, you could press it down with like some books or something. But I'm gonna leave a little bit of an outline. And just cut it in the shape that I painted. Okay, I wish that I had left a little bit more room at the top for a hole to like attach it. So I'm gonna do it on the side. Just because there's more room. Maybe he can be a rocking bird. Okay. If you have a lamination machine and you wanted to like laminate this, you could. I recommend once it's dry, spraying with a fixative for paint, or it's kind of like in a spray can bottle in the art aisle, or you could use Mod Podge and just seal it so that it's a little bit more durable. Wherever you made room, you're going to punch a hole in it. And you just need one on this. And this is going to be where it, the hook attaches. If you didn't leave any room like I did and you want it on the top, you can attach like an ornament hook to the back. But just to show you how it will go in the card. Definitely let it dry. I have a wet spot on the eye still, so I'm going to be mindful of that. I'm going to take my twine. Actually, let me move this for a second. I'm going to tie a knot. Well, I'm going to thread it through the back to the front. And then on the other side, the same. You will need some twine to close your card, so I'm not going to use all of it. But you're just going to loop it in. Definitely, if it's not dry, this part is, you want to make sure it is dry because you could easily smear it. I'm having to be really careful on that one part. Let's see, and then we're gonna tie a knot. You don't want.
I know that you're tired. I just had to pass this along. Julie said she just completely failed on her cardinal, but she will be cutting one out from her Clorox box. I mean, from her Kleenex box.
Hey, that's a great idea. Even like a magazine, like a National Geographic picture or something would be really fun. You could you laminate that, you could Mod Podge that. I'm gonna cut the excess off. If the knot bothers you, you can move it to the back. And it never happened. Yay. Okay.
So Julie, I'm gonna tell you what they always say, try and try again. I'm sure you'll get it.
Yeah, it was a lot to go through in an hour for the bird. I mean, it's a very detailed painting. You could paint whatever. It doesn't have to be that detailed. And if it doesn't turn out well, just tell them your kid made it. So that's what I do. I don't have a kid, but they don't know that. All right, so we have it in there. We are running out of time, so I will just like kind of talk you through how I decorated it. So I used a white colored pencil. And I started just kind of adding like dots for snow. And I did that throughout the card. Different sizes of dots. Some small, some large. And then, keep going with that. And then on the left, I kind of wanted to explain, that it was an ornament. So if you look at the example on the class profile, you can see the picture. And I put like a gift from me for your tree so that they realize, oh, I take that off and put it on my tree. So you can write that here. I I use colored pencil for that. I don't mind the handwriting look, but you could also use like your Cricut if you wanted to. When you close it, I can't close it all the way. Actually, let me just slide this out here. Still drying. Pretend that is inside. You will close it this way. You can write a message here. You can write a message here. You can add pictures, whatever you want. The black card is very like versatile. You can add more paper to it, whatever you want. Glitter. Everybody loves glitter. Maybe not receiving glitter, but using it, yes. And then to close it, you'll just use, you can use ribbon or twine. The ornament will be inside. And you can do it several times if you want, but you just want to do like a knot. And they can just, when they open it, slip. So you have like your ribbon and a bow or your twine, and then they can just pull it down again to open the card. So apologies for not getting to the decorating part, but that part is very personal choice anyway. Like I said, I just used the pencil. So you could use markers, or like those white gel pens are really cool on black paper as well. So does anyone have any questions before we log off?
I don't see any questions at this moment, but I do see a lot of people saying this was a great class. And
Oh,
thank you for sharing your tips, and that this everything looks great.
awesome. I'm so glad everybody came.
Yes. There's Laura who says she can't wait to make more.
Yeah, you've
And
got to
so-
really you've got to really like who you're giving this card to, 'cause it takes quite a while, but it's fun for sure.
And there are some that are asking for your ways that they can contact you.
Contact me. Okay. I have a website. I don't know our protocol for that. I will type
So
my art website in the chat if that's okay.
yes, any way that they can contact you, that's fine. So whether it's your Instagram, Facebook, like you say, your website, whatever way that they can contact you. And while you're contacting us, please share your pictures using the hashtag make it with Michael's, as well as Michael's classes. We would love to see them, and who knows, your picture may show up on one of our commercials, or you never know.
All right. Thank you everyone so much. I did put my Instagram handle in the chat. You can also find my website through Instagram if you want to know more about me or send me a message. And I would love to see what you made. Like Felicia just said, please share using that hashtag.
And also just know, if you are looking forward to any of the other remaining classes, I also put those in the chat so that you can follow or sign up for those classes if you haven't already done so. We look forward to you. So just know that Saturday will be the last 12 days of card making class. So please sign up for those classes. But of course, we always have other classes that will be coming. And also know that, again, this class was recorded, so you can always go back and watch, pause, rewind, however you need to do to go back and do this project with Danny.
All right, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy making.